Gil. This is Burkland Gardens. Today we're going to go through a few more of the plants that I received from Western Evergreen as part of their Woodland Gems collection. Today we're going to go through the firs, and we might make it into the cedars, the cedrus, so that we'll see how that goes. But right in the very front of the bed that I have here. Now I got these as 1 gallons. I've shifted them up a little over a month ago. They're already rooting in, and I think by this summer or the end of the summer, I'm gonna give it a little tug. You can see it actually holds. It would pull out of the pot. They're not fully rooted out to the very end, but they'll be ready soon. And so really happy with what I received from Western Evergreen. So this is a Spanish fir. So grows in a region in Spain, and the yellow color, that golden yellow color, it's different than most yellows that I have in the inventory that we see. And it's this one I sell out of rather quickly. It goes it sells out rather quickly. So anyway, I think this one here I did buy as a separate. That wasn't part of the collection, the Woodland Gem collection, but Jason picks these out. Jason helped the owner of Western Evergreen and send them, but these here were part of his inventory, but an extra that I bought. So then we have some icebreakers, Korean fir. Some of these I received from another grower in Oregon called Columbia Nursery, and they grow Japanese maples and conifers and other trees. They have a fairly large nursery down there. So I always like to keep a nice inventory of icebreaker Korean firs. They're just such an outstanding tree with slow growth, flat growing, silver needles, the needles that curl and show the silver undersides. And then moving on, we've got a noble fir. This grows noble firs, Abies procera. They grow in our region. They like little higher elevations. They're native habitat. This particular one's called Delbar Cascade. This is a plant that was brought to the trade by, it was one Hupp, Barbara Hupp, part of that family down there in Oregon that grows Christmas trees, and then Jason has Western Evergreen, the nursery. So it grows. It benefits from some staking early years, and it'll grow up fairly narrow with the branches weeping down, and a really nice blue color on it. So this is a nice plant that'll fit into at least the average to small, even a small landscape if you site it properly. So, and give you some height without being too wide. This one's called Hupp's Perfect Christmas Tree. This one will need some staking to look its best in its early years. It'll be dense and full, and I'll get this one staked up soon. But the color, as I'm just looking at it with the sun coming down on it, just a really intense blue, more than you can see the difference between Delbar Cascade, which is more of a green blue, and then the Hupp's Perfect Christmas Tree. So really a nice tree, another noble fir. I'm going to pull this one out. This is Abies Veti, vetch fir. And so I really like this fir. Sometimes they can be a little finicky, for their environment, but they're just a beautiful fir. This one's a pendulous form, and again, the branching wants to weep down, so it'll go in a narrow area, but just an outstanding. And what you're looking at here are some pollen cones, and these won't last for a very long time. They're soft cones, and they'll just go away, and they'll be gone and fall off. But nice foliage, nice color, bit of a silver to the underside of the needle as well. The needle has nice length and look to it. So I really like this vetch fir. Another weeping form of fir. It's a Nordman fir, just pendula, meaning the branches weeping down. And these are really nice. I'm a big fan of firs. Um, the people that live in the southwest United States and even some of the East Coast can't grow them because of the humidity and the heat. And the firs just, and they would just love to have them. They are being grafted onto Firma understock, which is a type of Japanese fir that can withstand that, but it's still, I think it's probably a little bit of an experiment to see how long lasting that if it's really going to work or not. But really a nice Nordman fir that fits that small yard. So we're going to look at another fir that's not what we call a true fir, and this is our native Douglas fir, and Pseudotsuga menzies, and this one's called Graceful Grace. Needs some staking in its early years. It'll again be slow growing, upright. Staking is helpful to keep it on track with the branches weeping down, and a nice blue color to it, so blue-gray color. So there's actually quite a few different Douglas fir cultivars. They don't do well everywhere. There is a Rocky Mountain Douglas fir, and then in the Pacific Northwest we have another Douglas fir that grows in our area here. So the Rocky Mountain Douglas fir tends to be a little more blue, maybe a little more hardy, not really sure, but anyway. So I'm going to talk about the other trees in this bed which are not firs. We've got some giant sequoias, native to California. This one's called Butnick Yellow, and you can see the yellow foliage on the tips of the needles. And the growth rate on this one, it'll be quite large. So this one would need some space, but so yellow foliage is desirable, but not for a small yard. This one here, you could put it in a little bit of a smaller space. Von Martin is this giant sequoia. You can see how much tighter the foliage is on this one. And I've got several of those. I think I have 3 of them. We have, we'll kind of switch a little bit. This is a Cypress arcupressus, because they changed the name a few years ago, horticulturists or botanists or whatever. This is sparkling arrow. You can see in the foliage the variegation going on. It's a nice bright yellow variegation with a nice green behind it. Really nice. It's weeping Alaskan cedars tend to be fairly narrow trees anyway, and so they'll have a narrow habit. They will reach 30-40 feet eventually, but fairly narrow, not much more than 10 feet wide is the typical width of that one. And then we have Glauca pendula, a little more blue color, about the same growth rate, might be a little bit faster than sparkling arrow, but again narrow but full, and with all the branches weeping down. Just got a group of cedrus in here. I'm not going to talk too much about the individual ones, but we've got some golds. Some of the blues on the cedrus and the golds are just outstanding in the landscape. So this one here is called Sanders Blue, and just an outstanding color, and then Gold Cascade right next to it as we're looking at it here. So then I've got a few weeping Labane cedars, and that's been a favorite in landscapes for years. And so that needs some staking at the beginning, and then weeps over and just creates a spreading, contorted tree. Anyway, that's it for this bed. So we'll see you on the next one, I think. Thank you for joining me on this one, and see you soon. Bye.